Files all over the place. Does catch that one with the help of fungal growth.
And this is slowly wearing him down. Now that's one thing that Journey could do to let him get back in. This is just right-click his army through there. But if he's not doing that, I think he's going to be in good shape already.
Yeah, and I guess if he right-clicked his army, like his entire army in, then Journey would, Rogue would be able to come back here. But like this is such a, it has been such a bad spot for so long.
I think this is checkmate right here.
Yeah, it's no longer a lion eating a gazelle. It's a lion eating a tub of bologna. Like there's no economy left. All he's got is Ravagers.
I think it's like the lion is eating the gazelle, and now he's taking a poop, man.
Oh, he's pooping?
Yeah, he's
pooping. And now hyenas are eating the gazelle?
Yeah.
There's a vulture overhead.
Okay, Journey with a 2-0 there. Our first winner of our first set in this year's first GSL Code S.
All right, really impressive play by Journey. I thought that Rogue would be easily going through this group. I've really enjoyed his play so far in Legacy of the Void, but definitely hitting a big road bump right there. We'll see if he can kind of draw himself together. He should be having a shot at Tasia in the loser match, unless Tasia somehow beats Zest, who is absolutely one of the best players in the world right now, which I don't think it looks too likely, but we'll see.
New game, we might have some new stuff, some new strats. So remember, guys, Journey has not advanced yet. He is simply in the safer spot in the group phase.
That's right.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll move on to our next match in today's first GSL Code S.
Please just let me go. You strung me on for far too long, so I gave up everything about myself, so I didn't feel alone. My magnetic heart still grasping on, afraid to let you go. Feelings based on your expressions, expressed in the way that it's sort of depressing. I was just my pain, I'm entertaining my oppressions. Some days I wonder what it'd be like if the light in your face never glowed. Would I rather live in dark just to know? I would rather rock than explode. These bombs are exploding inside my head, but I've never been more alive. These shadows of the dark just stride around with a little less pride. I've dampened the spirits and I've set them aside. Now I'm walking alone with no alibi. This life I live is all my own. Can't take that back if you try. If you love me so, please let me go. Can't take you back if I try. That are living inside my brain when acknowledge the fact that I'm staying positive despite the impossible. With a common logic, it's something as simple that rhymes with orange. You're provoking the knowledge that comes from a Berkeley star dropout. How come I need acceptance? Do you feel the same, or am I alone? I'm always second guessing myself. Instead I pretend I don't feel any pain when it's not my body's aching, forsaking the decision to stand up again and pretend that my knees are shaking. I'm scared of my own voice and what it might tell me, so I just write it down and hopes I'm not the only one to see just how crazy I sound. Handwritten in truth is the ink that bleeds from my skin. Please bear with me and beg the blurry details I've sinned. This life I live is
that hand clap. Let me get 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 that hand clap.
In the past, I've been a fool. It's the truth I've lived through. All I know is I must keep you by my side, keep you by my side. If it rains, then let it rain. If it hurts, I'll share the pain. All I know is I must keep you by my side, keep you by my side. And I always wanted to belong.
Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Contest.
This is size generation.
2016 Hot 6 GSL Season 1.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the GSL Codes. We just finished our first series, and now we're going to go on to the next part. This is going to be a tough one, Zest versus Tasia. I know a lot of people are big Tasia fans out there, but I would say it is very realistic to say that Zest is the favorite.
Yeah, Zest is one of the favorites of the tournament without any doubt whatsoever. He's one of the very best players in the world right now. He's solid as hell in every single matchup. In fact, in Pro League this week, he played against Dark, who is my pick, probably the best Zerg in the world right now in Legacy of the Void. He's very close, if not the best. And Zest kind of crushed him. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Zest is just unreal, on fire, might win this season. Tasia narrowly beat Blaze in Code A. Okay, I know you all love Tasia, but Blaze would probably sell his family to be half as good as Zest.
And Zest, I mean, this guy is so on top of his game, man. Now, Tasia dominated all over the world. Okay, and nobody can take that away from him. The problem, well, it starts with code and ends with S. This tournament is too damn good.
Yeah, but I mean, let's see how he does. I don't think anyone's going to really take out Zest for quite a while. Like, I think Zest is easily going to make it into top 16. Easily going to make it into top 8.
Yeah.
Probably make it in top 4 and maybe the finals. We'll see.
This guy, so solid, so handsome, Artosis.
Oh, yeah. He's the spiritual successor to Reach.
Oh, yeah, good call. That guy was a sharp-looking dude as well.
Yeah.
Friends, tell your other friends to join us here. It's day one of the GSL Code S. Legacy of the Void, excuse me. The meta, still very fresh, like wet clay. We're going to see it get molded here as these pro gamers develop their strats and we watch them interact with each other.
Well, you know what? We're going to see some players mold it, but I think Zest has already molded it. And he's going to put it in the kiln, and you know what? He's going to give it to his mom, because that's what you do with that stuff that you
That's
make.
right.
With that pottery stuff. So, you know.
That's when the pottery teacher goes, "Excuse me, Zest, what is that? Is that supposed to be a bowl?" And he's like, yes, but it's actually an ashtray.
Yeah.
All right. Next match, Lariat Crest. Remember,
Yes,
best of 3. The loser is going to go on down to the losers match, so nobody's getting eliminated just yet.
That's right. That's right. And they will play against Rogue, who seemed a bit off. So
yeah, he almost seemed like tired, distracted, anxious. I don't know what it was, but it certainly was not his solid play that he's delivered before.
what will Tasia be going for here? We definitely saw him with a few risky and kind of almost dated plays against Blaze, but he's had a long time since then to improve.
The countdown started. Let's do this. Game number 1, Tasia against Zest.
See, we can't do that anymore because we're suddenly in the game. It's like, all right, here we are.
All right,
our Terran player in the blue. He is.
Team Liquid 패자.
It's just such a different timing. Oh my gosh! It's just like Legacy of the Void. It just starts right away.
A new casting meta for how we do outros now.
It's crazy, man. It's going to take a while to get used to. We have to expand again already here in the top left. Our Protoss player.
KT 롤스터 Jest.
Yay! Yay!
We have a good crowd down here tonight.
Video games.
Those are my favorite types of games.
That's right.
I like other types of games too. Like sports can be cool and board games are fun, but video games, they're the best.
They are the best, man. They truly are. Getting some support here from for KT. We have a quick command center, a very quick command center, about as fast as you can possibly get it.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move on a 4-player map. I mean, the odds of being scouted immediately, quite low. The odds of a proper proxy or the ease of a good proxy, also very low.
Now, he did try this against Blaze. If I recall correctly, the map might have, it was one of the maps with a natural behind. Where he tried a build like this. And again, if I recall correctly, Blaze just made like 1 billion adepts and killed him because he followed up with 3 barracks play like we see here.
Well, and I think the problem with this is that there is a very good reason why so many Terrans are hungry to tech to Starport. Okay? Sometimes the best defense is a good offense in StarCraft 2.
Indeed.
And having that medevac out and keeping the Protoss chasing that and defending that keeps you safe at home. Now, naturally, when you go for a quick command center, you end up with a huge excess of minerals, and therefore you have to dump those minerals into something, in this case, making 3 barracks instead of just 1. But it seems like, and we'll see as this develops more and we cast more games as each day of Codes pushes us further to the finals, it seems that the Protoss tech, it can go in so many different directions, and it has so many answers for basic infantry with staggered tech behind it.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, the thing is, he's already gotten the scouting intel he really needs. A Marine was shooting him, and he saw another barracks building. So we see him immediately throw up a Robo and a Twilight. I would say he's going to grab Resonating Glaives and a Warp Prism and go and try to kill Tasia.
Let's see if this works.
Quickly.
Yeah, let's see what exactly happens here. But right now, I do like the direction that Zest is taking this game so far. Very reactive style of play. Here we see the peeking with the Adept. As that's eventually driven back out.
He'll just continue to ghost up there and see what he can see. Oh, is he going to go DT Shrine? Is that possible?
It's certainly possible.
What?
Yep, there it is.
All right, so that's.
But you can also follow this up with Adepts afterwards.
Oh, absolutely.
Now there's nothing to stop this scout, so this SCV could possibly get up there and get all the necessary information, but he's not, in fact, going into the main. He's going to go check over here at the third base.
Mothership Core is after him as well, so has to be, well, he's just going to go ahead and lose it. Some perfect micro right there by Zest, killing that off. And, you know, a DT drop can be very powerful. You know, Tasia is, like, extremely good at mechanically at StarCraft, and it could be quite likely that all his mules will be dropping down, like, immediately, which, you know, you drop a DT on Artosis Terran, he forgot to drop a mule, and he has a scan, you know?
True. Getting all the defense up here. Now, he follows this up with Blink, so it looks like the way the strategy operates is he sends out that Warp Prism. He starts to drop DTs in here. Maybe he warps into depths, I don't know, or maybe he doesn't warp in anything at all, except for other DTs. And behind this, he's powering up. Maybe he gets a third base, maybe not. It depends on how potent he wants the follow-up timing attack to be. And it's going to be actually a much safer play, third base into massive stalkers with Blink. Probably also the strategy hinged on the idea of preventing Terran from getting to third base for a very, very long time.
I like it a lot. We actually had a scan go down, and they're not showing us. Okay, he misses the Dark Shrine.
In fact, he misses almost all important information.
Yeah, just seeing a Robo, so...
Which it can almost be more misleading. It's not even like an additional little bit of intel. Now, note he's going to split the DTs up. He wants to keep each... GG. Are you serious?
Yeah, he didn't have any mills.
Yeah. Okay. Thought he was going to put up maybe a little bit more of a fight, but that's it. Short and sweet. Zest bopping. Shish kebabbing that nerd.
Yeah, that was...
Seriously, that nerd did get shish kebabbed, though.
That was a little bit disappointing. Yeah, what else can I say?
Okay, yeah. Well, that might be the worst game we've had. Not only was that
Thing is, if
crushing, but that was humiliating as well.
Yeah, if you don't have any energy, like he had probably just dropped his mules and Zest drops in there, and it's like, why stay in this game? You are dead. It's Zest. You will not come back from these DTs getting a bunch of kills.
One of those moments where you say, oh no, he has invisible units too.
Yeah.
What I'm asking myself is, are we going to see the quick command center again? I don't think this is a viable build. 3 racks after
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it. I know that, yes, you're getting more minerals, but how on earth does that help you if you can't defend or properly scout anything that Protoss is doing? And Protoss, just like they've always been, they've had a wide array of options. There is the CEO of AfreecaTV, and
uh-oh, does that mean pizza?
Pizza?
Or maybe burgers? I don't know, actually. Burgers.
Burger time. Raise your burgers. Put them in the air. Now, what kind of burgers are they? That's the question. Is it McDonald's? Is
Are
it
there
Lotte
meat
burgers?
in those burgers?
Certainly there are, Artosis.
You don't
right.
know, Tasteless.
No, I've worked here
He's
long
like, oh,
enough.
this is rejected. Do you have another card? He's like, uh-oh.
Oh, man. Hold on.
He makes a call, and then, like, they run a 3-minute commercial on Twitch. They're like, can I pay with PayPal?
He's got to run out of the building. All right, now, hold on, wait. I didn't see the brand on there. What is that? Burger King. All right. Here we go.
It's where you can have it your way,
Let's see.
Tasteless.
Now, does it have the slimy bacon in there? Does it have the 3 pickles inside? Look at how happy these people. That guy in the middle is
They're
not
so
that happy.
happy.
He's like, I'm a vegetarian. But the rest of these guys, they're having a good time.
Yeah. Bet you didn't think you were going to have a burger when you came down here today.
I hope they got a burger for me.
That one guy was like,
Welcome to the studio, guys.
it's like, oh, I had a burger for breakfast. I'm like, why did you have a burger for breakfast?
They got a breakfast menu. There's GTR in the front as well.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
We could make fun of him. He doesn't have headsets in. He wouldn't know, you know.
He would mute us anyways, right?
Okay. Going on to game 2. Tasia against Zest. Zest with some lackluster performance, getting bopped pretty badly.
Well, will Zest just kill Tasia immediately again? No, I don't think so. I think
I
Tasia
hope
will
not.
go. I don't think he'll go command center first guy. I hope not. I guess we wait and see what he has in store for us.
Map number 2 is going to be Dusk Towers. Remember, the winner goes on to face off against Rogue. Or the winner goes on to face off against Journey, excuse me. The loser against Rogue. And our game has started up, and therefore our countdown should. Here we go. Game number 2, Tasia. This is the Cloak DT intro. We didn't have the countdown there. Even the intros are cloaked now. Upper right in the blue, he is. Liquid Tasia.
Team Liquid 패자.
Yeah, that was almost as good as the Zeratul. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't.
Zeratul was almost as good as a Tasteless voice.
Yeah.
But nothing beats the Guri voice from Code A. In the bottom left, in the red.
KT 롤스터 Jest.
That voice, I can't wait to go on the internet and read people like, oh god, I think the Zeratul just like smokes too many cigarettes. I'm like, he doesn't even have a mouth, he's a Protoss. It's like, what the hell? Like,
You have to smoke Cuban cigars for years to
can
get a
only do-
voice like that.
they can only do secondhand smoke, guys.
That's right.
And all it does is ruin their skin.
You know, I thought, aren't the Protoss supposed to be like part plant?
I don't have
Which
any idea.
you would think if that's true, then the Hellions would do more damage to them, but whatever. Anyways, Probe coming up now. Going to do a little bit of scouting. And Tasia, he's
CC
trying the
first.
same build again. Now, is this going to be just a choose-your-own-adventure on how to win here for Protoss? I think maybe, but let's find out.
Well, I mean, DT drop is a very valid map on, or very valid strategy on this
Word
map.
salad casting from the
Yeah.
Tosis.
I think something's wrong with him. It's like, no, he always sounds like that. But, I mean, Zest has complete intel right now, and
What we had to do, our Tosis, is you're too good of a caster, so we had to patch you. We had to nerf you by removing part of your brain, was what we had to do,
oh,
man.
no.
Yeah. Now it's balanced between you and me.
Now I'm a real Protoss player. I always felt like there was something wrong. You watch, I'm going to go home and get Grandmaster tonight. You're like, yeah, I don't know, he got way better. He makes so many more adepts now and hides Stargates. He just like tripled
so
his
good.
Protoss skill after they removed part of his brain.
They took out a third of his brain, and he's just...
Sometimes he just makes a bunch of warp gates and attacks. So you're like, but with what upgrade? You're like, no upgrades. He just goes. You're like, so if it doesn't work, he's just dead.
Back when he had all of his prefrontal cortex, he was doing way more technical strategies and was going about 50-50 with the pros, but yeah. Okay, now, the response so far from Zest is to get a Robo Bay and then the Twilight Council, so that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get DTs, but we certainly can't discount it. It's one of the things that could be possible. My bet is he won't get DTs because generally if you do the same DT strat, 2 times in a row, second time way less efficacy.
Absolutely, and I think this time it's much more likely that he actually does what I was thinking before, which is Resonating Glaives, perhaps. Like, yeah, Adepts got nerfed against Terran, but it's still legit. Like, you can still make a bunch of Adepts and kill someone who made Marines.
You know, whenever you see...
Never mind.
Hold up.
It's a DT drop again. No? Switching it up.
That probe is not worthy. Okay. All right, it's going to be the exact same strategy. Now, if Tasia loses this, that is humiliating.
Just 2 DT drops in a row.
I mean, Tasia is the guy that just apparently keeps touching a hot stove over and over, expecting different things and getting burned each time. Oh, whoa.
The Adept going to deny the scout. So he was like over my... I'm like,
I was
what
about
is
to
this,
say,
the GSL
I was
finals?
trying really hard here, Zest.
Zest has like sweat on his forehead. Meanwhile, Tasia is literally alt-tabbed.
He's alt-tabbed changing the song he's listening to on YouTube. I'm like, man, you're really not prepared for this. Okay. Well, this game, at least from Protoss, is intended to look the same way.
Yeah, well, it certainly does.
Now, will it result in the same kind of win? I hope not for Tasia's sake, because that will get the special prize for the worst best of 3 in Code S.
Yeah, possibly in history, but he's making a turret, so it's absolutely not going to be like last game, I would say. Like, that's the only turret, though? It's a little bit nervous for him.
Occasionally you can get enough DTs to just run right in there and just right-click on the turret.
3 DTs. Is that enough?
Now, what we were talking about in the previous game before it abruptly ended as Tasia just tapped out, you want to spread the DTs out and you want to milk out scans. Oh my God, he scanned right before that. That's not good.
Yeah,
that's one less.
Not.
All right. Okay.
Oh my God. He actually gets the turret before it gets repaired. Okay, so he does take care of the one at the front. He is actually getting some turrets.
This is like so painful right now.
Oh, he needs to back out of there. Unless he gets that. Oh my, no, he's not going to get that. Okay, he picks it up in that Warp Prism.
I have to say, this is already going so horribly. And you're against Zest, where like Zest is just basically not going to be making mistakes this game.
This is already a very successful DT drop.
In fact, it's probably even more successful than Zest expected it to be, despite the fact that Tasia basically knew it was coming. We haven't seen a single... Well, we saw 1 DT killed at the entrance, but that was fine because that baited out the scan that allowed the 2 DTs in the upper right to do all that damage.
Totally, and this is tough for Tasia because it's not like he can just walk across the map and attack. In fact, he might get a Raven. Let's see.
Up. Cover blown. Doubly blown because the Observer was there as well. Yeah, I was going to say he should definitely move those Stalkers back. Oh, no, you know what?
Well, he's going to catch these medevacs, which is, almost. That would have been insane. Like, Tasia would have had to leave after that. He's making a 3rd command center, though. He didn't take nearly, well, I mean, I guess he didn't technically take as much damage last game because he left before he could.
Yeah, but he still took way more damage than should be acceptable
if he
wants to get through here.
He's hurt. He's definitely damaged.
Okay,
but
he's going to intercept it. Get ready. Here we go. And fortunately for Tasia, he's unloading there. Good game sense. Blinking back now. However, the drop ideally is supposed to be killing workers and not just engaging the army. Another harass over here, picking up that DT and backing up.
And still more Stalkers being warped in for Zest. He's not very likely to take any damage anytime soon. He's got great scouting going on. As you can see, Warpers on the left, DT in the natural, and a couple observers as well. Like, he knows everything that's going on. He's getting his upgrades. He's got 3 bases already mining. And he's dealt damage to Tasia, so, like, he truly leads in, like, every single way.
Okay, one small victory there for Tasia. He does manage to get rid of the Warp Prism. We will probably see another Warp Prism queue up very soon here out of the robotics. Protoss just powering up in every sense, getting the 1-1 upgrades, expanding again, and that's a 4th base to Terran's 2 bases still.
But Terran should be taking their 3rd base right now. In fact, yep, he is going to go ahead and land it. He has that Raven out to try to, not have to use any more scans on Dark Templars, but this is looking really rough because we just have constant Adept production, 1-1 finishing for Zest.
Good call here by Zest to not run the DT under the command center. He waited for the SCVs, and that's exactly what he wants to do. Just get any extra kills to delay mining because 4 base to 3 base, Protoss is just getting a lot more muscle out here.
Especially with this Resident Glaives about to finish. His army is really scary right now. Like, he might be able to, while taking a 4th and getting 2-2, walk across the map and kill Tasia's army.
And this might be a style of attack that I don't think Tasia can necessarily out-control. It's just that with Resonating Glaives, Protoss is dealing so much damage, they're outputting such an incredible amount that it could just run him over, man. It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So to come down here now.
Like, this army has out in the center has no chance. Like, if he can get on top of that, it's completely gone. So Tasia has to be careful with that.
Now, if Tasia wants to win, I think the best bet would be to try to drop in the main or drop somewhere where the army is not. But Zest hyper-vigilant right now with observers all over the map.
Yeah, this is, like, his vision is fantastic. He's getting continual upgrades here, getting 2-2. He's mixing in higher tech units as well. Finally, Tasia does start some Liberators. Now, that's really important. If you're going to win a longer TVP, Liberators are going to be extremely important to that.
Problem is, I don't know if he's really at that phase of the game where the Liberators really get to kick in.
Oh, I don't think they kick in yet.
I don't think he's even going to get that far. I mean, when you only have a small number of Liberators, the Stalkers just blink on top of the Liberators, kill them, and then the entire Terran ground army dies.
Yeah, he's going to have to just play Turtle Terran for a little bit, like really turtle up, like what we see TY do when he's behind.
Right.
Is just like ever so slowly take your next base. And I mean, he's getting a Ghost Academy here. Looks like he wants to get some Ghosts out for their EMPs. But Zest is already transitioning. He's realizing, okay, he's thinking, how could I possibly have any trouble in this game? Well, only really Liberators, right? So adding that Stargate, I'm sure he's going to tech right up. Maybe grab an Oracle, but just go right into Tempest play.
Okay. Ever further is Protoss advancing in this game, completing the tech. Terran playing from a deficit. I think bad build, and also, just bad engagements here. Protoss eked out so much extra damage. Although I really thought Protoss would probably try to time it out and hit Terran's 3rd base. It seems like he's just going to wait until he maxes out and play it safe. I mean, I guess if you beat Tasia that badly in game 1, why not just play super safe and close out with a 2-0 here the next game?
Yeah, and another little aspect I would say also is if he's attacking and then like some harassment happens, that's how things could theoretically go wrong for Zest.
Very true.
Like Adepts, it's hard to attack into Terran with Adepts sometimes. Like, yeah, sometimes you can just ghost up or you have somebody that you can just kill them, and that's probably what a lot of angry Terran players think about when I say this. But like, if Terran has a concave, if Terran is sitting in a defensive position, has a decent army, Adepts with their short range, they all get slowed and take a lot of damage before they can even engage. They're all clumped up. The front line has to die, and then the next one has to walk forward, more steps to shoot.
Sick. He's trying to go to an assassinate move there on the Ghost, but doesn't get either. Nice play there by Tasia.
Yeah, I like the safety of both players.
That's really smart, though, getting in there and just taking out those ghosts, because Terran is not able to contest Protoss teching up with Templars and the rest.
Well, right now we do have those Tempests on the way. He's tagged the army as well with that single Oracle, continuing his upgrades forward.
Another little harass over here. Storm's coming down, going to force the Terran to retreat. Nice feedbacks there on the Medivacs, making them, nothing more but transports now, not able to assist this army any further. Tasia is beginning to really solidify, and stabilize in this part of the game, because Zest played incredibly passive since the harass.
Yeah. Zest really kind of taken up Rain's mantle now that he's retired here. This has been like the safest Protoss play that I've really seen. No aggression really outside of the Dark Templar drop, but he's in great shape with 5 bases. It's just Tasia is slowly but surely pushing forward here.
Nice. Tagging that entire army. This makes it much more difficult for Terran to move and have any favorable engagements. Ghosts coming up here, though. Nice EMP.
Yeah, he's quite a few ghosts. This could end up working out well for him.
Okay, he's coming here now, blinking in from the side. The Adepts actually beginning to drive back that army. The Tempest here able to deal damage from that range distance. Archon coming up here as well. Does he have enough? Not as many Medivacs here to heal. The Storms go down, driving back the Terran force.
Well, he does back up into his Liberator's range. Hadn't brought those along with him. Instead, using those as something to fall back to. Did like an okay job there with his army, but definitely doesn't have what it takes to punch through Zest right now. I feel like he has to back up. He's making a lot of Vikings. Maybe that's the play, is to try to eliminate the Tempest and keep safe with your Liberators.
It does seem like the strategy that Zest is trying to employ is to do a slow push with the Tempest. I think Terran's best response to that is to start dropping once Protoss is pushed out too far. But he's actually going to try to go in here and take out that Observer. Failed attempt there, and the Oracle once again tagging that army. Keeping no secrets here for Tasia.
Great tagging going on. This is like a very popular thing amongst top Protosses right now, to just always try to be tagging armies with those Oracles, and working out pretty well for him here. But, Tasia attack in, eating a Psy Storm right there.
Yeah, just a bad engagement there. He does take out some of those Tempests. Coming in here now, the Oracle soaks up the damage there from the Widowmine, but Terran's going to keep pressing forward. A good number of Vikings.
Yeah, he's actually doing surprisingly well against this, but a lot more Adepts being warped in, more High Templars being brought down, and Tasia definitely has to back up here.
The 5th base has been up for Tasia for a while here in the center right, but operational it is not. He has been unable to mine from that since he's gotten that. So with some of the DT harassment, it seems almost as though he's simply preoccupied with focusing on where Tasia's army is and how to set up to try to defend against it.
Well, the Ghosts marching forward here. He just continually is scanning. I think he's also very oftentimes looking for Observers to pick off here, see if he can maybe utilize some Cloak and some Widow Mines to great effect. But with the amount of Oracles popping out as well, I don't think that that's going to be something really worth his time going forward.
A lot more Templar were just warped in here. Tempest count, Terran's done a decent job of keeping that under control. Again, the balancing act of trying to produce the correct combination of air units here for Terran has really been tough here for Tasia, mixing between Vikings to Liberators to Medivacs. And Protoss, with the ability to warp in whatever he wants at any point in time in masses, in droves, makes it tough, because if he can identify a weakness, he just warps in the comp that beats whatever the Terran air composition is. And it can be difficult for him to deal with.
Well, right now Tasia is going to go ahead and do a drop over here. 3 DTs get warped in right before. Will be able to scan and almost takes those out before they make an Archon, but does a little bit of damage at least. This is a really nice thing, and he makes Zest's whole army move over there. And I mean, during all this, Tasia's mining pretty well.
Yeah, Tasia's definitely in okay shape.
Yeah, he's really strict
since the
together
start of this
something.
game. Yeah.
I was a little bit hesitant to think that this could even occur after the DTs did a good job and Zest was like up 2 bases at one point.
I think he was almost expecting Tasia to maybe make some kind of a mistake. Like, it seemed like Rogue and Tasia both today have seemed a little bit off. But Tasia definitely has regained his confidence. He seems to be doing a good job this time around.
Yeah, maybe he thought that Tasia would like throw away an army, like he was frustrated or something, because he left the first game so quickly.
Yeah,
but,
it almost looked like a rage quit, but maybe he was just trying to balance out his stamina, saying, okay, I'm actually going to be here all day if I do get out of this group. So why waste my time in a 20-minute game that I inevitably lose? Let me just go into game 2 with a clean slate, a clean mind.
That definitely could be it. And maybe Zest has underestimated him here. He's playing like such a safe game. But I mean, I like safe games. I like this type of style out of Zest. It's just Tasia has really gotten himself a good army. He's starting to get some harassment down. And Zest is just kind of chilling.
Zest is going for it. Now remember, Zest is maxed out, so what's weird about this is he can't actually warp in a lot.
Yeah.
But that drop wasn't too big, so he will eventually take care of it. Scanning on the army. Are we going to have a full-on engage?
Well, looks like he will back up for now. It's kind of funny. Like, there's actually not many Liberators. It's mostly Viking right now, and that is a hell of a lot of Vikings. So he should be able to, well, there's Psystorm and Stalkers there too. Even some Archons.
Vikings clump pretty heavily when they're getting microed. So
he's got to be careful about that.
Then again, the Ghost, there's so much EMP. I mean, is he going to be able to get that opportunity to actually come in there and with the Storm if it's blanketed EMPs over and over?
Yeah, if he messes up with these Vikings, he's in trouble. Like, these Vikings really have to be efficient at doing their job, which is eliminating all air units here for Zest.
We're in the phase of the game where it's much tougher for Terran to effectively expand out on the map. If Protoss is either using DTs or Stalkers to run around the map, you can start to delay mining these pretty effectively. I don't know if Zest brought this game in the right direction after that initial attack. I feel like Zest is almost acting like he failed in that first attack and it didn't do anything, and then he had to play on the defense. And I just don't think that was the case here.
You know what I think it is like if you really feel like you're better than a player, bringing it to like a supreme late game, like the longer the game goes, the more opportunities you're giving them to make mistakes and for you to outplay them.
True.
And I feel like that's probably what Zest's idea is in this game. Is, you know, if I just stay in this game and keep playing well, like Tasia will eventually lose. And I mean, maybe he's right, maybe he's not, but Tasia's playing a nice game right now. Like, he's got a cool army here. He's got a lot of ghosts in here. He's keeping the EMPs on this army, so it can't really do much against him.
Yeah, Zest really just unable to push forward here.
Yeah, you can't attack into that easily.
If Zest, you know, he's maxed out right now. If he can't actually get anything out here to start harassing, Tasia is just going to take the map while these two armies dance around each other here in the middle.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see out of Zest is just, like, put up a pylon like he's doing over here with the turrets, make a couple cannons, have plenty of High Templars, and just, like, continually push in. But looks like he is starting to push at least. Not getting too much done yet.
He is going to go make planetaries here in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
All right, we got to engage. There it is. The storms are coming down now.
Ooh.
Huge amount of damage there on the Ghosts and the Vikings.
Well, looks like it's time for a drop here. The Ghosts are going to remain here in the middle of the map. This is kind of a cool composition we're seeing out of Tasia. The fact that he's like making so many Ghosts.
Oh my God!
I've never seen this many Ghosts.
He's going to feed back these medevacs. Now they've been doing a lot of healing. They might.
That was 40 supply.
At the blink of an eye.
Oh me, oh my.
Well, that.
That was brutal. That was brutal. But look, this is more Ghost than I've seen since like Thorzane here. This is kind of crazy. It's like this is like some Wings of Liberty TVP I'm watching right now to Tasia. He's really channeling deep.
I'm actually surprised that Zest isn't pouncing right now.
But you know what? Like, there was a point in time where in Heart of the Storm where no Terran felt like he could play against Protoss in the late game, and I felt like Tasia was one of the only ones that did it well, and he did it with this type of comp as well. So this is pretty cool to see him kind of bring this style back, the planetary Ghost Viking play, because that really is, like, there was a moment in time where he was one of the only Terrans beating Protoss late game, and it was with a comp that looked like this, but Legacy of Void is completely different from that, so it's very interesting to see it popping up.
Again, nice EMPs there on those Templars. Going to try to come in over here and take out that Archon before he can get it. I am wondering, though, how Terran's going to end up actually taking control of the bottom right. Every time Terran expands out further and further, it gets harder and harder for them to defend. All right, I think Terran's going for it. Saying he's got enough Vikings.
He's got to be careful, though. Like, the cost efficiency of whatever engagement he does matters so much, because if you look at the bank, Zest has what is nearing 10 times more money.
Yeah, that's true. He can actually warp in an entire maxed out army after losing his army again.
Yeah, and Tasia absolutely cannot. So he has to crush a battle or slowly but surely whittle down while he continues to mine.
Good storm there.
Yeah, he loses ghosts from time to time, and I don't think,
Yeah, I guess that is the other story. You're totally right, Artosis. Take a look at the upper right, guys. The amount of minerals and gas banked up here is pretty scary, because even if this battle comes out to be a bloodbath and it's a pretty even trade, Zest has the bigger army.
Yeah, like, if all the units on the map die, Zest just makes this army again, because he has enough money easily. So,
I mean, he can't as easily mass-produce Tempest, but the rest of the ground army, that's no problem.
In seconds. And his upgrades are fantastic. So
now, that command center is making in the bottom right. I don't know what happened to that DT.
All right, well, hold on. We actually do have some nice sniping there on all the observers. That allows his ghost to be a little bit more effective here, but does have to back up as... See, this is the smart thing. I didn't see that when I was talking before, but he's built cannons in the middle that he can always back up to. And against an army like this, that's very, very important.
Okay, he's coming out now again. He has tagged the army there with the Oracle, so he can track the movements. And he's going to try to push in here. And it looks like that center divide that we have, that no man's land that was existing, it stopped. And actually, Zest has managed to creep into that territory and claim it for his own. And that's going to be very tough for Terran to deal with, because if he's not in control of the center, this is where Protoss gets to just wreak havoc over here, attacking, wherever the Terran army is not.
He says, I'm watching... Oh, okay, so he's actually targeting SCVs, because it's like Adepts killing a planetary that's being repaired will just never happen. But we do have another drop here by Tasia, and it looks like he's going to trade base for base right now.
Unfortunately, I think Zest can afford to do this. I don't know if Tasia can. Top center, by the way, it's under the Terran's control, but it's not being mined. He's not using it.
Yeah, he's got like 2 SCVs there, and he dropped a mule earlier, but I haven't seen anything else really there. And that's gold base, so...
Okay, he's going to come up here, try to put the pressure on. Ultimately, this game, if it goes on for longer, it'll be up to Terran to actually control the bottom right side of the map and to keep Protoss' death ball away from that.
All right, well, at least he has saved this planetary. Can start mining there once again, dropping mules and whatnot.
He's going to get another tagging.
He's tagged so many times. Oh, man.
I do feel like Zest could be doing a better job of just harassing here with some of his army. He has to know these other bases have been taken by Terran, or Terran wouldn't be in this game for this long, mass-producing like this.
Well, look at this. He actually runs in and it does a lot of EMPs right there, bringing up his Vikings now. If there's no Psy Storms, this can be big. And look at this, a cloaked ghost flank here. It's kind of weird. Was not expecting a move like this, but Psy Storms do blanket everything as he comes up to try to help his retreating army.
He's got to be careful.
Tasia's pushing him back, but again, if he loses this, he's got no minerals.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The ghosts have been shaved off throughout this game, and that's a lot of pretty gas-intensive stuff. I know that Templars have been taken out, but when you're this rich as Protoss, it's kind of weird. You can start making a lot of these Templars and still keep your core army there. And ultimately, this army can hold off a good amount, but Viking Ghost is not necessarily going to march across the map and destroy everybody, everything and kill.
No,
it's like you could sustain this and mine out minerals, but you have not addressed the problem of Protoss just controlling the map.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but you know what? Tasia is actually taking the other islandish base that you have to kill rocks to get to. If he somehow mined both those out, he'd have so much more income than Zest overall over the course of the game that definitely this would be an advantage for him.
You know what? We saw the mothership go down, but or the mothership core go down, but I would like to see a mothership.
Yeah, that's
a good point. When he's in the middle of the map.
There's no point not to make it when you have 5K plus. Yeah. You got that much bank, you may as well have a mothership.
Tasia once again just testing the perimeter here. Zest going for this really passive macro style of play, and he's doing a good job holding on here. Problem is he hasn't actually harassed any of these little additional bases hiding around the map, and that can actually cost Zest the game if he's not careful about that. Zest is eventually going to mine out everything, and he's going to only have that one top center base that he could take, and Terran might already just be landing mules at that and sucking up all the resources there.
Yeah, I mean, if he had been landing mules there the whole time, it would be gone by now. but hasn't as much. He does have more SCVs there. I'm not sure exactly how many.
Ro32's going to go for his 26-minute Zealot Lake timing.
Yeah. All right, well, Taja's mined out like a decent amount.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, now he's going to know.
Oh, see, he has no idea,
Oh,
so.
you the fool, Zest.
Yeah. It's too bad that Taja didn't just like pay a little bit more attention to actually mining from here, because that's a base that he can't defend. So he was like kind of like a little bit sparse on it. But he will take that out in a matter of seconds. But still, a lot of those minerals are now gone.
Well, if he spots that one at the top, he should probably be thinking about the one at the bottom as well.
Ooh.
Nice ice storms there.
All right, well, at least he gets EMPs off, not too many size storms. Kills a couple cannons. No real value being had there by Taja.
Coming back down again. This game, crazy turtle game here from these two players. He's scanning, checking the army, sees there's a good number of observers there. Now, you would think Protoss would check down there, right?
Yeah.
You see that hidden there, you're thinking, oh, God.
That one's a little bit harder to kill.
Normally, when you find one hidden expansion, you're thinking of all the expansions after that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's such a, face-palming moment in a game where you're thinking, oh, I didn't even know what was going on fully in this game in general. The whole game's about out-expanding your opponent, getting the necessary resources to out-strategize them. Then he wasn't even looking at that.
This is very interesting, because this is the one map where it has a very obvious center that divides the map, like a small area, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if Zest looked at this and was like, okay, actually the best endgame unit comp goes to Protoss in this matchup. And he's just like, well, if I just make Tempest and sit still, I can't be broken. This could be something that he's considered for, because like on maps that you can cut in half easily like this map, there are absolutely different long game strategies that you can play compared to other maps.
Well, especially when you haven't as much money as Zest, where you can make cannons and Templars everywhere else.
Yeah.
So that Terran basically just won't get in there.
By the way, we have Ravens throwing down point defense drones at this point. Luckily, they have been changed a little bit in Legacy of the Void and don't last forever.
Wow, I just did not expect this game to look like this.
No, I didn't either.
He might eventually be able to take out that sensor tower. That would be a huge help here, since that's basically like an Oracle tag there for the Protoss. But we now have every resource location on the map being occupied. So let's say, theoretically, this game goes on and on and on and on, and we mine out all the bases. Taja should have mined more minerals overall.
Yes.
Which means that Zest can, even if he did a great job the entire time, he would have spent through most of his money and therefore not have the necessary resources in the supreme late game, the very, very latest part of the game, when we're running out of minerals on the map. Taja might actually end up winning and Zest losing.
That's possible. There's one other thing I want to point out too, because gas is a little bit more scarce in Legacy of the Void than it used to be. Oh, okay, hold on. We're actually going to see this battle before we can talk about that. He is going forward right now. I think he'll back up actually at this point. But okay, oh God, go back to not attacking each other for a minute. I really want to talk about this game more. Okay, so. Well, I guess they're just going to do this.
There eventually.
They don't care what I want.
Beautiful storms there. The Vikings so clumped up. If he could get one Archon over there to just hit those Vikings, it would be huge.
The Vikings doing a great job, though. Another good storm does go down. His ground army is really shrinking at the moment. Oh, God, so many Adepts coming into play.
Here's the game changer. Remember we were talking about this earlier, guys? What will happen if the two armies collide into each other and he could just start to send, they start to rebuild? Well, Protoss having so many minerals.
Well, apparently the ghosts kill everything.
Yeah, apparently. He did make a ton of Adepts back there. Actually, you know what? He's so short on gas, he can only make Zealots.
Yeah.
Which are not going to do really anything.
This is something I was actually going to say is, Terran always has gas surpluses. Now, gas functions a little bit different in Legacy of the Void. There's like less of it. So the fact that there's always gas surpluses for Terran lets them play like the longer game a little bit more interestingly, because he's not going to run out of gas in relation to his minerals, whereas Zest absolutely will. So look at Zest now. He is forced into making mineral-based units, but the mineral-based units are not necessarily very good against the ghosts.
I would have sent the Zealots out there, actually, to the other expansions and started trying to take them out. Because once the Ghost got picked up there in the medevacs, he gave up center control.
Dude, I think
I think
Tasia might take this.
I think you might be right, as weird as that is. I mean, talk about a bizarre game. Now, it's Mass Zealot Stalker like we were in the first 5 minutes of StarCraft 2 game.
Now, Tasia's actually making more Vikings, which he absolutely doesn't need or anything, so I don't know, but that is a lot of charge lots. Oh, my God.
Oh, takes out the Observer.
That's right. That means the
Takes out
Ghost.
the Oracle, too.
Ghost going to town right now.
Yep, Protoss does not have vision of that, which means there's going to be so much damage. The next wave of Zealots, though, does come here. Checking again for the Observer. No Observer in sight. Had these Zealots had vision, it would have been a completely different story. The Observer comes up, and he is making a beeline over here into the Terrence main.
Wow, this game was very, very interesting, but right now Tasia just does not have much money. He's stuck at 50 army supply. It's going to be hard for him to hold on here. He's being as cost efficient as he possibly can, but Zest is just overwhelming with Zealots.
It's that same theory I was talking about earlier. If you banked up that much, even if you're starting to trade your armies, you just remake yours. We already see, look, the supplies skyrocket back up here for Zest. Now, if Zest can get on top of the barracks, this game will end as the Protoss units will all be massacred off as they're popping out, and that'll basically be checkmate.
Look at this. So Tasia trying to micro for his life. Right now, Zest doesn't have much income. If Tasia can actually hold this, he can win, but that is a lot of Zealots.
His Zealots swarming in here like bees. He's on top of the barracks. Artosis, I think that Zest actually managed to do it in what was a very interesting, crazy long game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Protoss quite play like that, but it seems like Zest has identified this might be the best way to play on a map like this. Go to the late game. By the way, first Legacy game I've cast where every single resource location was taken.
Yeah.
We nearly mined out the map.
Yeah, very nearly mined out the map here. Tasia's the one who decided to pull the trigger and end the game because Zest absolutely wasn't going to.
By the
yeah,
way,
it definitely could have
Zest
mined out.
pretty much mined out his side of the map.
Yeah,
there's
his income's
basically no
super
more
low.
minerals left there. So this was like really nicely done. Now, this is the only thing that Tasia can do from here on out because he still has plenty of mining bases here. He has to make a ton of barracks over here in the other place. He has to restart his tech tree. He has to get a wall off. He has to get as many bunkers as possible, and he has to try to dry up the remaining Protoss forces to where Zest can't remake. Look at Zest minerals going up. They're not moving very quickly, are they?
Yeah, and look at this. He's landing these barracks on purpose right now because he wants for Zest to be focusing on something like that. He needs to actually have his hidden barracks that he's making right now, like that are down in the bottom right. He needs those to finish. Look, I mean, the thing is, this is mostly Zealots. This is an army that can be killed with good micro.
Yeah, it can be out-controlled.
Thing is, Tasia needs to get enough units that micro matters.
Yeah, and he needs to get as many bunkers as humanly possible. Now, keep in mind, Mass Zealots, SCV's repairing a planetary. That's pretty strong, right? If you get a foothold there, maybe you can hang on to something. 59 supply to 133.
All right, he does have some medevacs here. That's really, really important. Looks like he's maybe going to go ahead and attack that gold base for the time being. We actually need Tasia to repair that.
He needs to repair that like yesterday.
Yeah, there he goes. But Zealot's actually targeting that as well. So the planetary is going to end up falling. Does do a lot to Zealots.
That's going to be game.
It
wow,
looks like it.
What a game it was, man.
Yeah.
Good games by both players, but Zest in the end, he had Tasia's number.
Yeah, this was a really cool and interesting game, no doubt. Tasia almost bringing it back, but Zest, super strong, man. Gonna be going up that winner match.
Nicely done there. We're going to have a fantastic winners match. Zest against Journey.
Yeah.
And Journey is definitely a different Terran player from Tasia.
Yeah, he definitely looks a lot different. Plays like a more current meta type of style than Tasia. Tasia definitely marching the beat of his own drum.
Definitely a very modern player, Journey.
Well, maybe like Tasia is actually the really modern player. Like he's from the future. Maybe we'll see more of this Mass Ghost play in the future. Like, it was pretty cool. He had some really neat moves, and considering how far behind he was when he actually started to get into this type of tech, who knows what would have happened if he was actually at on par with Zest.
We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go to the winners match for today's GSL Code S.
In the past, I've been a fool. It's the truth. to belong. Will you stay with me tonight? 'Cause I'm tired of saying goodbye. You're the truth I can't deny, and I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
It's Mr. V. It's yours. Yeah, and right now we want y'all to move back.
언제나 있는 그대로의 맑고 깨끗함을 지켜가라고 겨울을 잊은 강물이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성 사이다.